What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we upload videos at least once a week, sometimes twice. Kind of depends on how wild and crazy I'm feeling. Hit that notification bell so that way you're notified next time I do upload a video. And if at any point during the video you feel like you want to click that like button and let a comment down below, go right on ahead and do it. Let's just jump into this video. Today's video is going to be on rack systems. Personally, like how I have mine set up, and the way that I have my thermostat set. We're gonna go over that. Um, it is actually gonna be a two-part series. Part one is gonna be the rack systems. Part two will be more of how I'm gonna say like your average keeper hobbyist would probably keep them as far as like glass tanks and aquariums type of deal. I know I'd said that today's video was actually going to be a post shed update on Clutch 1. Sadly, they are still in shed. Clutch 2 is also starting to go into shed. They're just kind of starting to hit the beginning parts of it. So I'll show you them here real quick. As you can see, their eyes are super cloudy. So they are nowhere close to being done in their shed cycle. They're still in the, they started getting a little bit cloudy just the other day. And same with clutch number 2. Granted, they're a little bit earlier into the cycle, but they're starting to get a little bit of cloudiness going on. So as you can see, they're getting there. Hopefully next video. I really want to see how these babies color up. I'm like super like anxious, excited to see how they turn out. Especially that bumblebee. I really want to see what that bumblebee looks like. And truth be told, I really want to see what that Algene banana looks like. As far as I'm hoping it kind of gets that lavender color to it that her mom has because it's a really beautiful color. So I'm hoping that it kind of goes with that towards that lavender side and doesn't really get too much orange in it. Um, so anyway, let's get into it. We'll go over my adult rack, we'll go over my hatchling rack, and we'll go over what I'm using now more as kind of like a backup and or quarantine rack. Granted, I have it down in here for right now just because nothing's in it. Um, when I would need to use it for a quarantine, I'd take it out of the snake room so that way it's truly quarantined so that way I don't run the chance of bringing mites into my collection or anything like that. So let's get into it. All right, so right now this is my adult rack. It's the ARS 5540. I only have 3 sections to it at the moment. Just kind of adding on to it as I need to, which is actually one of the great things I love about this rack. Now, let's see here. Let's pull out. Well, let's pull out Natalia here, our killer bee. Now, first thing you'll notice is the bedding. I keep all my ball pythons on cocoa blocks. Stuff is awesome, keeps humidity great, and I have not had any issues with them shedding. And along with that, it seems to soak up any of the urine and any fecal like odors. It's very absorbent stuff. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. All of our tubs come with cup holders, so when it comes time to just change the water, just pull out the water, dump it out, clean the water dish, and pop one in and fill it right back up. Then back there at that end is, of course, the hot end of the tub. Where the water's at is the cool end. And one thing you'll notice is this metal plate right here. Underneath this metal plate is the heating element. So it goes the whole way across the whole width of the rack, and plugs into this light strip here, which is then also hooked up to our Herpstat 2. And that is what gives all of our racks, or all of our tubs, their heat. Now I have, push this tub forward a little bit. Right here's the probe for the thermostat. Have that taped down to the top of this. It's actually in between the two tubs. So that way, one, none of the tubs interfere with it, rub on it, or anything like that. But also you want it on top because heat rises. So this is going to be the most accurate way to have it set up. And one thing to keep in mind is, with it being like that, I try to keep my hot spots between 85 to 90. You notice I have mine right now set at 93.5. Reason being is because by the time the heat gets from the heating element through the tub, because there's a little bit of air gap there, so you're gonna lose some heat there till it gets through the tub and actually to where the snake can lay on the hot spot, you're losing some degrees there. So by going with like the 93.5, that gives me the ability to have the temps at the hot spots pretty darn close to 90 degrees. Like I said, normally they range between 80, 85 to 90. The snakes here in the lower racks, the lower bins, are a little bit cooler. They're the ones that are probably closer to 85. And then the more middle to top ones are where you're hitting your 85 to 90 range. So your bottom ones are always going to be a little bit cooler just because they're getting heat rises, and that's just the nature of the beast. Let's see who else we could show you here quick. Tell you what, let's show this cool guy. I love this guy. He doesn't get much attention either. And he's kind of buried. Oh, there's the head. That's our orange dream fire, possible yellow belly male, whose clutch will be hatching actually here very, very soon. There again, you know, cocoa blocks, water. Highly recommend the cocoa blocks if you don't use them already. Look into it. Freedom Breeder has a great product with that, and they've done something different with how they're producing it to where it's actually a little bit nicer than what it was originally. They didn't have much to improve on to begin with, but they definitely improved on it just a touch more. And the baby racks are the same. Water cup will go there. Here, I'll just pull this one as long as she doesn't bite me. Water cup here, cocoa blocks, and then the hot end back there, of course. But it's the same setup, same thing going on here. This is the 1065. Heating elements there. You got the probe there sitting on the middle shelf. And all my big racks are run with the Herpstat 2s. Here again, 93.5 as well for the temperature to be set at. Main thing to keep in mind is with your thermostats, or with the probe placement. Like I have it placed on the middle rack there, or on the middle shelf of this rack for how high it is now. When I add tiers, I'll plug in the second probe. If you notice, this says disabled. I'll plug in that second probe, which will activate it, and then that'll run another section of the rack, because there again, the heat rises. So that top tier, as you get higher, it's going to get a little bit warmer, and you're not going to want it to necessarily heat up to that 93.5. It might be 90 degrees then. I can set it on. We'll just have to see how that goes. Kind of play that one by ear. And here you have a rack like this. This is a TGR, Tall Grass Reptiles rack. Sad thing is that these guys, I'm pretty sure they went out of business. I know that at least they I know they shut down shop for a little while. But cup holder there, this would be the hot spot of the tub. They had a slightly different design. Instead of the metal part there, they had the heat tape actually set up right there on this little shelf. And the nifty thing was, so even with it being like that, as you can see, the tub just slides right across there. It doesn't have any contact with it or anything. So that way you're not wearing through your heat tape, which will eventually would cause a fire. Or just some really bad stuff would happen. But there again, I'd hook that up to the thermostat. Since it's not really in use right now, I don't have it hooked up. But there again, you place it on the middle tub, which would be this tub. You place it back there. I would tape it on to the top of the tape, or another option is, I've seen people where they drill holes through the back of the tub here, bring in the probe and tape it over the hotspot, because then you're actually getting the true inside tub temperature, where you're not having to set a temp at it and say 93.5, where you can set it to your hotspot temp that you want. But that's just another way. I know Matt at Olympus Reptiles, I think, still does that. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he still does it that way. And I used to do it that way too. I did switch. There's really no, in my opinion, right or wrong way for that, but just all personal preference. So that's kind of my rack setups. I don't really worry about ventilate. I don't have any ventilation issues. I have a fan that's normally running, keep air circulating so that way I don't have any hot spots in the room. All the racks have ventilation across the top. Each section has its own set of ventilation. And no, I don't have any problems with humidity. That's one of the greatest things with racks is you don't have to worry about humidity levels. They hold in the right amount of humidity no matter what, provided you have the right bedding and everything. All right, so that's how I set up my rack systems. As far as the temperature aspect of it, you might have to set yours a little bit warmer than what I do. You might have to set it a little cooler than what I do. Big thing is use your temp gun to check just that way you know exactly where um, your temperature is at in the tub. So you know if you have to raise it up a couple of degrees or a half a degree or whatever, or drop it a little bit. Like just for instance, right now in the room, that's it's 78 in the room itself for the ambient with the 60% humidity and for the whole room. Uh, the 89 is the incubator, so ignore that one. But yeah, so that's one thing to keep in mind is that, don't go all necessarily off my temperatures, because they might not be the same for you. So that's just where I have mine set. And I think that's basically about it, everybody. Uh, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, let a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think as like what rack systems do you like? Do you like the ARS racks or do you prefer the Freedom Breeders or, what rack systems do you guys like to run and all that stuff? And if you have any comments or questions about rack systems as well, just let a comment down below, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer it. So, next video will be glass aquariums, terrariums type of deal, and we'll go over that. So that'll be probably won't be next week's video because hopefully babies will be shed. So that'll hopefully be next week's video. Fingers crossed. So it'll be 2 to 3 weeks till we get part two, depending how the two clutches shed. So keep an eye out for that one. I'll upload that, like I said, when I need the chance. Who knows? Maybe I'll even get wild and crazy and put 2 videos out in 1 week again. So take it easy, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.